Hey everybody, Bob Adams here. Welcome to this evening's presentation. This is another continuing portion of our education on iHub. Tonight's presentation, Ron will be presenting. I know that he's done the last couple. I've been out of town with doctor's appointments. Yay! Hopefully I'm all done with those. I seem to be doing extremely well. And tonight we're going to cover what I think is really important stuff. The thing I like about it too is that the antenna information, which I know Ron's going to show here, this isn't coming from anywhere else but direct from Ron. And this is his own experience. And from this, hopefully, you're going to pick up on the fact that getting prepared for selecting your antenna is a pretty important part. And the amount that is going to change your ability to make money on iHub is pretty dang significant. So on that note, I'm going to step out of the way, and Ron, my friend, is all yours.
Hey, thank you, Bob. I suppose you can hear me right. We've got my screen up. Antennas and commissions is the topic. I've kept our same front slide because, really life is just a series of decisions, and you got to weigh them out and make good decisions, and if you do that continually, you have good success in life. But we're going to go into a little bit of areas of antennas, and then we'll move into commissions. Bob, do you want to go with this one? Do you want to read?
Yeah, I'll take care of it. Okay, all information, discussions regarding cryptocurrencies, installment of operations, iHub support, and educational material are for educational and entertainment purposes only, are general in nature, and not intended as investment, legal, or tax advice. Each person's personal investment, risk level, and financial situation is unique and different, and the information provided may not work or work effectively for you. By signing up for and attending or participating in our informational internet or in-person workshops, seminars, and follow-up meetings, you agree that Bob Adams, Ron Duggar, Tony Elder, and all affiliated companies, representatives, associates, or employees, those are information providers, are hereby held harmless from all liability and loss associated with the information and discussion provided, and as to any action or strategy you may choose to implement in regard to the same. It's all yours.
Thanks. And so, folks on the call, I'm hoping that what we'll have is you'll be listening a little bit into a conversation that Bob and I are having. Of course, I've got some things kind of pre-planned, but I want it to feel like Bob's asking questions and I'm answering questions. We'll still have at the end a question and answer where everybody can weigh in if we don't cover something. The first picture you see there, that is my new installation as of Sunday. I placed that up on my roof. That's what they call a 12 dBi antenna. It's much larger than what you probably need, but I just go big. Anyway, I just wanted to let you see here in a moment the difference it has made since Sunday. And, of course, it's only a few days, but we'll see how it plays out over some time. But it was not too difficult to install. I've just drilled right into the flue of my chimney. Those pipes that come out and go down actually go down to my basement, to my furnace. And I run that same coax cable, the LMR 400 coax, down to that same room, and that's where my device is now. If you guys remember my first installation, I had it with the stock antenna, the 3.2 antenna, 3.4, whatever it was, and it was up in a skylight. That was probably only 10 feet in the air. This one here is more like 25 feet in the air from ground level. My cable run, I bought a 50-foot cable to reach down there, but I have a little extra cable just sitting in that room. Bought the cable with the shrink-wrapped ends on both ends, and I did the LMR LMR 400 because it's a thicker cable and you have a little less loss in when you're running a long cable run. So anyway, let's see what it's done. These are three different pictures of snapshots of different time periods. And so this very first one, I think you could see my cursor going down. That's one on the left. That was early on. A couple things to note. My, what they call a transmission scale, was 0.74 at that time. which is not the best. You want to really see a 1 right there. That's the top. When you start going lower, it's because you have competing hot spots that are nearby potentially that are kind of you're competing with in terms of the challenges and the witnessing and everything else. This is the best I've ever had at my location. So I've not have the best location, but this is kind of the different hot spots that I was able to communicate with. There was only 48 beacons and 38 witnesses that were happening. This is a 7-day window, but this number down here is for, I think, the averages and so forth. So now let's take a look at this other time period. I dropped to a 0.69 on my transmission scale. I did increase the beacons, and I've increased the witnesses, and that was just the kind of the maturity of the box itself. A little more time, has better opportunity to kind of get in contact with more devices. And now this one down here is since Sunday. I took this snapshot just before getting on the call. So now I'm up to 215 beacons and 95 witnesses in this time period here, which is an increase of over 133%. And that's just in the past 5 days. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and pull my live. This is now the website at the Helium track, so we can get a little better idea of what's going on here. So you'll see the scale here. I'm sitting on the 30-day, but if you'll see each of these blue small bars up here, those are my earnings day by day, and you see how it spiked to over 4 times, in these last 4 days, basically. Okay. Now, if you go to the little gray next to it, you will see, or any one of these, you'll see that network average. So 0.12 HMT over all 600,000 in the network, that's the average, 0.12. And at the time, I was only 0.052, so I was below average. And then when I put my antenna in, I jumped up to where I'm at 0.276 when the average is 0.128. And so increasing your antenna is really, really critical. And iHub recognized that, and so that is why they instigated and want to have everybody having something greater than the stock antennas that they ship out when the boxes come to us. So here's a little report as of the last call that I had listened to, which was a week or so ago from iHub. They have sent out 8,000 coupon codes, and only about 2,100 of them have been used. And what they've kind of reading between the lines, they feel like, again, this is a decision people have to make, and they think people are a little stuck about making that decision. And so they're really recommending better than 90% of the time the situations. If you've watched the training videos on the antennas, there's really 2 options. There's the 5.8 and then the 8 dBi. You might say to yourself, hey, the bigger the better, like me. I bought me a 12 dBi for my antenna here. But in reality, that's not necessarily the case. There's what they call a cone, which is these are directional antennas. The stock antenna is the most circumferenced antenna, 360 kind of view. And when you start going up in the dBis, they start becoming more directional, and they don't have as a big a arch to jump over buildings and that kind of thing. And so they feel like the 90+% of the time, the 5.8 is the nice middle ground where most people ought to just buy get the 5.8 antenna. And so I guess my encouragement here, and I did it later or just before getting on the call, because I was in the same mode where I was not making that decision very quickly. And so there it is. That's my receipt. And so right inside your back office, you will have an opportunity to click on the voucher, and go through the process, and it takes you over to the website where you're ordering it from, this fieldcomponents.com, and the coupon code drops right in there. If it doesn't, then you want to copy and paste it in the coupon area. And so my antenna, the 5.8, came in with a retail price of $58, but when I apply the coupon code, it took it to $0. But you do have to pay for this fulfillment and shipping, and so I did end up paying $30, $29.79, and it's on its way. So don't be afraid to just say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and get this antenna so that as soon as my box arrives, I'm ready to go ahead and install it and get going with my box right away.
Just a real quick comment here.
Yes.
Just so you guys are aware, the antenna portion is partially being paid by your $99 subscription that you started out with. And
correct.
It really does make a big difference. Not only does it affect iHub, and the extension of that coverage that we're really getting paid for, okay, but it's going to increase your overall income. So here's a little process. When you go in to see the videos and they show you how it works for selecting of your antenna, pay close attention to it. I know that in my particular situation, I'm right here in nowhere land. The closest box to me is 30 miles away on the other side of a mountain range. And so I'm going to use the one that's going to come with it until I can get more people in my town signed up for it, and then I'll extend or expand my antenna at that point in time. Because right now, I'm just going to use the one I got. It doesn't make any difference. But for you, it might make a difference. It might make a big difference. So don't be afraid to go and experiment. Take a look-see around. If you got some questions, hey, let me know. I'll be glad to help you with it. All right, I'm done. Go.
Okay, so now I've pulled over a little spreadsheet because I love spreadsheets. And so what I want to, I'm going to pull one more thing on my screen and just show you where this is at. We're going to go in this section. This is the training area for the compensation. But if you go to this income disclosure, I've pulled these numbers on my spreadsheet from this area. What this is the 2021 disclosure of what iHub has paid out in all of 2021. Now, of course, they weren't fully operational for that whole time in terms of very many boxes out, but these are end-of-year numbers. And so I want to just pull this back out of the way for a minute and come back to my spreadsheet. Okay, so this is the 21. They had a total of 3281. I should have put that column in there. The total number of distributors by year end of 2021 in iHub was 3,281. Okay, but the average HNT that was earned or received by those 3,281 was 13.87 HNT. Now, of course, the current value is only $22, and so that amounted to, in value, $315. Now, of course, our concept here is that we have an appreciating asset as we earn this HNT. It is down now, but it will not always be down. The high was over $50 within the last few months. And so accumulating what you mine in this process, it would be well wise to wait for opportunistic times at high points to go ahead and redeem any of this or turn it into cash. But I wanted to show you what the actual value today based on the numbers at the end of this last year. So now in the comp plan, you go from affiliate, which is just you only, your box only, to where you start building your pro team. And so there was a total of 1,232 pro team members by year end of last year. Now the average of HNT for all those 1,232 was 38.79. So that was based on today's price, $883. There was only 120 bronze members by the end of the year. Their average HNT earned was 236, and so about a 5,379 based on today's pricing. And you can kind of see the rest of these. There was 25 silver and there was 36 gold. The point I think you really want to understand here is if you're going to come into iHub, make a commitment to say, I'm going to grow to gold. Make that as your, and that's really 25 or 26 personal direct affiliate that you bring in that have paid their $99 and they're starting to get their box. But as they pay their $99, even before their box arrives, you get these raises. And so if you have other boxes in the field that are earning, that raise kicks in automatically. But anyway, I would like to have a $47,000 value, even with the price of HNT low. So there's some serious money that can be made here. So let's come over to this other area because I showed you my upgrade. If I don't have, the box that I have at my house is not an iHub box. It's one that I'm testing from a manufacturer overseas, and we hope to maybe have a relationship with these guys so that we have some additional options down the road. But it's still a long shot, and so I don't want to get your hopes up too much as to alternatives or supplementations. I'll say that as a better word for our only sources through iHub. I hope to maybe even be a supplier to iHubs because they're going to need a lot of boxes. So here's what my history was based on what I just talked about here. I had a 3.2 dBi antenna. It was an indoor antenna, earning 100%. My typical month, I was just under 3 HNT. Current value today, that's only $60 in value, but it's $715 if I times it by 12. I throw in that 12 dBi antenna. Now, when I say 12 dBi, I want you to understand that I don't know how much less that this would really be if I just threw me up to 5.8 dBi. I kind of feel like the 5.8 would have gotten a lot of the same space and area that the 12 was getting. So I think going up to just bigger and bigger dBi is not necessarily a wise way to go. You could say, you know what, I'm going to get the 8 and just see how it is. If that's not working out like you'd like to, the next antenna you'd have to replace it with is going to be at your full cost. But it's not the end of the world if you're making money. And so what I anticipate right now, based on those 3 or 4 days averages, I should be over 8 HNT, which is 189 based on today's prices, are about $2,200 for the year. Now, if this was a iHub box instead of my own, now we only get 25% of our boxes, so you can kind of see what the numbers are right there. So let's think about this. Let's say my box was an iHub box. I've paid out $100, $99, right? I've gotten a $58 upgraded antenna. Of course, I've put out another $30, so I'm at $130, but I've got me a juiced up box, okay? Within, so let's just use this number here, within $50, almost $50 a month based on current pricing, within 3 months, I've covered my $100. Now, I would have outlaid the $400 deposit, but that's coming back to me, okay? So you can see that even at the 25% and not building much in the way of affiliates, if you look at a lot of other mining operations in this area of cryptocurrencies, to get a 4-month return on your investment and a break even is really good. Okay, and the prices are low right now on HNT, so it's only going to be up from here, in my opinion. So, hey, Rob, do you have any comment?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I really like mining. I've enjoyed that immensely. I like the technical aspect of it. I like playing with it. And right now we've got such a low going on in the cryptocurrency world. I know guys who are just getting out. They've got huge mining systems. It's soaking up too much electricity, and they don't want to do it anymore, so they're selling off their systems. I share the same attitude that Tony has. Don't do that. Keep mining. Now, even though I may have a little more incurred cost electricity-wise, I'm still going to be building, and eventually those coins that I'm accruing will convert over into something that's going to be very substantial. I just kept mining. I just kept going. Now, that cost to get into something like that, I mean, it was like $27,000, you know, versus what this is. This is a minimal cost. I mean, $400 to get in and what, $1 a month in electricity? You know, that's, you're kicking the heck out of a lot of people who are serious miners, and you get to, you know, get some off of other people at the same time. This is why this particular mining option is extremely profitable. It's well worth getting involved into, which is why we've been pushing it to say, hey, look at this, 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 because it is a great way to get into cryptocurrencies, a very inexpensive way to get started, and it is only going to expand. Now, I know that Ron's going to show a video here in just a few minutes. It is a dang good video, okay? It really explains the comp plan tremendously well. But I just want you to understand, we're mining. That's what this is doing. We are mining, and we're feeding off of other miners. And when we do that, the more miners we get involved and the more people that we enroll, the more money we make. You could actually exceed all those great big, high expensive, you know, investing machines that are out there for a $400 cost, and that $400 you can get back. There. Yeah. I'm saying my song. It's your turn.
Easy. All right, so I think we've covered that well enough. Hopefully, get no other questions. But I wanted to just be full disclosure. I appreciate the idea that iHub is heading down the path of kind of full disclosure. And so now we're going to spend the bulk of the time here in this section. This is as if you were logged in. I'm logged in right now, and it's in this commission area over here under iHub Comp Plan Training. Okay, the first tab, which I'm right now, gives you that last year's income disclosure data. And then this top income disclosure statement, basically, I'll summarize it and I'll ask you to read it yourself, but basically it's saying, hey, you know what, there's no guarantees. The hotspot may do well, and it may not, depending on your location and different conditions, and same with the coin. It could be very volatile, up and down in value, and so the potential earnings are just estimates, and so just kind of keep that in mind. There's always business risk and rewards that happen. Now, I've never pushed this button yet because I want to do it. You would have, you want to do it once you've read this, and it says I've read it, and hopefully this won't show up ever again when I log back in, but let's see what happens. All right, now it's actually taking me down to the next step here. So let's go ahead and watch this video and see if we can. I may stop it and clarify some stuff as we go along. And tell me, Bob, if you don't hear it for some reason right away.
All right, go for it. We're good.
Video that you already know that.
Can
you hear it?
Yep, it works.
Okay.
Go for it.
All right, so let's let it run.
The greatest paradigm shift in wealth creation is within your grasp. At iHub Global, we are building a people's network, an alternative to the big cell phone companies to provide a solution for the Internet of Things. All you need to do to be a part of it is to get your own hotspot. There are two methods of securing your device. You can lock in with a lease, which will amount to a fraction of your potential earnings, or a deposit, whichever works best for you. When you plug in your iHub hotspot, you immediately start earning cryptocurrency coins, called HNT. We call this a hosting reward, and you get 25% of whatever your hotspot secures.
Wait, so I'm exchanging $20 for $100?
Because we're building a mesh network, we'll reward you for helping us add new nodes to our infrastructure. In other words, if you refer new people who also plug in a device, we'll reward you for the coins their device earns as they help build our IoT mesh. Using our software, you can search addresses and we'll estimate the number of HNT coins their location might earn. This is called a referral reward. On each new person you add to the mesh network, iHub Global, you'll earn this referral reward, 10% of what their device earns. After you, the next 5 spots are reserved for you to build a pro network. Once you've completed a 6-pack, you, plus all 5 spots filled in, your monthly reward referral will double to 20% of what your pro network's devices earn. Now your lease is paid for, and you're earning extra income.
Okay, I'm going to stop here for just a second because I think it's a little misleading what they just said here based on my understanding of the comp plan. So we talk about this lease versus a deposit. The lease, you'll be signing a 36-month lease, and it's $18 a month. It auto-renews, which means that you'll continue paying that $18 a month for as long as you're mining and you have their equipment in your home. Versus the deposit, which is $400, it's refundable. Obviously, these lease payments, you're never getting that money back. It's actually, digging into your earnings that's happening. Now, the other point they want to make is they're going to be collecting that $18 as USD dollars, okay, off a credit card or something. You're getting paid in HNT. So HNT, they're not taking some of your earnings to pay that thing. You actually have this monthly $18 ongoing, and to recover that, you're going to have to, exchange some of your HNT back into USD to kind of recover that lease payment. And that's a function you have to do either every month if you wanted to recover that on a monthly basis, or however frequently you'd like to. And so if you map that out, you're going to be paying a whole lot of money, a lot more money for hosting that box if you just continue this lease payment forever. Versus if you got $400 in the bank, I would gladly give up $400. It's refundable when I turn back the box, a functioning box, and it's zero interest, but it's not lost money. But that's just my opinion. This saying your lease is paid for, that's misleading. What they're saying is that based on their example, you'd be making more than the $18 because of the referral fees, this extra income to pay for it. And so anyway, just hope you understand that little concept.
Mary Kay referred her friend Matt, and his device earned $500 in HNT coins. Mary Kay would earn 20% of his hosting reward, equal to $100 worth of HNT coins.
How many times can I do that?
There are no limits. Building a people's network is fun. From this point forward, Mary Kay will earn that same 20% monthly referral reward on every new node she adds to the network, the new folks she refers. And the people she previously referred, they now increase to a 20% monthly reward as well. After she's built her pro network, she can continue to use our software to refer new people to the mesh and unlock her next 10 reserved spots called the Bronze Coded Network. Here's how it works. When she refers her 6th person, she's now started to assemble her Bronze Network, and these people can be anywhere in the country or the world. She might want to tell her friend who owns a pizza parlor in California, or her cousin who owns a fishing store in Florida. You get the idea. Who wouldn't want to exchange $20 by adding a new node to our network and earn crypto coin with this simple device? As before, she'll earn 20% of what these folks hosting devices collect each month in HNT coins. As she adds more people to her Bronze network, her monthly wallet starts to grow. The real power, though, is once these folks start to build their pro network teams. Mary Kay is now going to have an additional 5% bonus coded to her on all these pro teams and the pro network teams they start to build as well. This is the power of leveraging what other people do. And when folks see the ease with which this peer-to-peer network can be built, it's not difficult for her to continue to tell more and more folks about this opportunity. And like Mary Kay, you won't want to stop there. Recall that her first 5 spots built her pro-coded network, the next 10 for her Bronze network, and the following 10 spots are now reserved for her Silver network and will continue to reward her efforts. The bonus coded to the Silver network will double to 10%. As these people build their own pro networks, who in turn start referring folks, Mary Kay is employing the power of leverage. She's part of an organically growing network as her team is evolving into new, potentially infinite groups, where all of these pro network coded teams roll up to her. And after she's completed her Silver network, the very next spot is reserved for the Gold network. And she and you will have reached the top. From this point forward, anyone referred is hardwired to the Gold coded network, and the coded bonus will increase to 15%. Every single new person introduced to iHub Global will earn you a 20% referral bonus, and you will receive a 15% code on their pro network team and all of the people they bring in. There is no end. As long as you refer folks who refer anyone, you'll earn this bonus. See, isn't building a people's network fun? The last, and arguably the most important element of the iHub compensation plan, is our check match. Remember those 5 people you referred as part of your pro network team, the ones who got you started? Well, as they build out their bronze, silver, and gold networks, we'll pay you a matching percentage on their coded HNT bonuses. Every time they receive a coded bonus, you will match that bonus check. Here's how it works. Once your pro network team is built, you'll receive 10% of what they earn in check match. And with each coded network you build, the numbers will grow. Once your bronze network is started, it will increase to 15%, 20% at silver, and all the way up to 25% check match at gold.
Okay, so this is you going from bronze, silver, and gold, and it's these check matches, the 5 and the 10 and the 15, is off of what your pro network is doing. Okay, so the check match is tied to your check matching your 5 in your pro network. And so again, this is why you want to reach gold, because then your check match is at that 15% on top of the 20% that you are getting from just the referral network. Okay, so hopefully that's clear. You don't want to be sitting with money on the table and be just a pro person yourself and having people underneath you expanding and getting bigger and bigger checks, and you're only getting 5% of it instead of 15% of it.
Imagine if just one of your original Pro Network members really understand what our technology can do, and then decide to fully leverage their network of friends, family, and business acquaintances. You could end up earning matching checks on thousands of people. All of this just by helping us to build a distributed network to support the Internet of Things. You're tapping into the hottest technology and currency trends in the world today. If you missed out on Bitcoin, Tesla, or any other high flyer in the past, this is your chance to roll up your sleeves and be part of building something truly revolutionary.
Okay, so I think that's a pretty good explanation visually of the compensation. The rest of this is going through each of these things in written format, and help you dive in and understand each of those elements that were talked about inside the video. I'm going to leave that to more for you to each read and understand, but I wanted to point out this Share iHub Comp Plan button. That'll be on the top, and it's down here at the bottom. If you click on it, it gives a link here. I'm going to go over and I'm going to see. You can see that this is coded for my business, which is the Ron Freedom LLC. And so essentially, when you hit this button, you can see that you can. Where's it? I thought it did it. You can share it right from there. I thought. I'm not seeing it though. Essentially, there was a button that would come up and say, share with email or on Facebook, or anyway, there's share links here that you can immediately share it out to family. And what it does is it brings them to this exact page, and they can read the comp plan and watch that video. And then if this button, instead of saying Share iHub Comp Plan, it actually says Join the network or something like that. And if I click on it, it won't bring that up for me because I'm logged in. I'd have to log out to see what they see. But basically, this now is an additional marketing tool to help them understand the comp program, to help them make a decision about moving forward. Any questions from you, Bob, on that area? Or
no, I'm appreciative of that. I mean, it's really a good presentation. One thing I have to acknowledge, first of all, you've heard me say it a gazillion times, I'm not really a big fan of MLM stuff, but this particular product, based upon where we're at on the fourth new industrial revolution that I know Tony yaks about all the time, this is it. This is it. And so the option to be able to go in and partake in this thing is just like I said, for me, I actually don't even need a box. I mean, it's not going to be of any value to me. The only reason why I'm getting a box is because I'm going to build around me to be able to make it work for me. But that's not what I'm counting on. I'm counting on other people. I got friends and families and relatives all over the freaking place that I'm going to be enrolling as well. and inviting them to come participate in this thing. So, yes, that particular video, I'm also going to be moving on to the startyourcrypto.com website. The only problem is you don't want them to be using that particular one because that links out to me. Yeah. All right? It is something there just for them to see, and I will put a disclaimer on it saying, don't join this one, go to the person who sent you here. Otherwise, I'll end up with your person, and getting them moved off is a bucket of problems. It's not worth doing.
It's not easy. Yeah.
It's horrible. So my invitation is use this thing. It is really a great tool. You know, so the two videos that I like the best that they've produced so far is the first introduction to Helium and to iHub, where they have the dentist and a few others. It's a short little video. And then this one. This one here just explains it extremely well. And these are the tools that I'm using, guys. I'm encouraging you to take a look and do the same ones. I think that's it for me, guys.
Yeah, and Bob, I want to touch on that because you and I have the same opinion, and I did this slide in last week's presentation, so I wanted to pull it across and discuss it one more time, and then I think we'll open it up for question and answers. I'm not a big fan of MLM business models because they're asking me to do all the hard stuff for the company and the product. Number one, they typically increase the price of the product to pay out compensation programs. They want me to do all the selling efforts on a commission-only basis. Then they make a very complex commission plan, a right leg and a left leg, and it's really confusing. And the only way it works is on an auto ship. In other words, you want to get your friends and family to spend $100 a month on a product that is overpriced and they may not need. And you know that it's only a matter of time before they're going to stop that auto ship, and all of your effort just goes down the tube. And there are people that make a lot of money, but I've never been one to do it. I've never tried really hard. I have joined. Oftentimes it's just to help someone out and say, yeah, I'll try that product. But I'm one that quits fairly quickly when I realize that the product is not what it was, not what I thought it would be. But anyway, that's on the left-hand side here. You kind of see how that kind of flows together in the typical comp program. It's all dollars, U.S. dollars, and it's coming out of the pockets of the hard-earned money of your friends and family. I don't like it. Never have. I do love to see those big payouts. Those are kind of exciting to see how much, millions of dollars, and buy the planes and the yachts and all that kind of stuff. And it's all hype. Let's come over and take a look at really the big difference here in what we're talking about in building the People's Network. The big difference is where the compensation comes from. It is not coming from the pocketbooks of your family and friends. It's more it is coming from the actual hotspot itself and the location. So where's it at? It just happens to be that your friends and family have a location that may be a great spot for a hotspot. Okay, that's the magic. You're not going to do this to the 10 people that are straight up your street. That does nobody any good. You're building a network, and a network needs to have spacing for coverage. So that's why it's called proof of coverage. And the way that the comp is generated is every hour there's an epoch. That's an algorithm that boxes are talking to other boxes. You're either a witness, you're a beacon, or you're a challenger in that triad communication function, and you're compensated if you're any one of those three. And so this is not a great example. I use the same graphic. It's really a more like what you see up here in the corner. It's a affiliate program where those that might go deep, they all roll up to you. Okay, so it's a single level. It's just a matter of how much you're making off of that other box, or that additional box is the only difference. So I just use the same graphic, but you see in the middle, we're not paid in dollars, we're paid in HNT. And you just want to place as many of these boxes in great locations. So that's the same objective that iHub Global has, and that's why they're willing to send us a box. All of this hardware, all of these hotspots, they belong to iHub. We are just hosting them. All of the HNT that is coming off our box, it flows to iHub first, and then it comes back to us through the comp program. Okay, so that's just an important concept to understand. If you approach someone, you're just saying, hey, listen, I know you own a home. It's in this great location. Would you consider, let's get a box there, and here's what you can earn, and I'll help you find some other spots, people you have good spots. And just, the money is not coming out of their pocket. Now, yes, they have the $99, and yes, they either have a lease or they have the $400, but the box, if they don't go recruit anybody else or do any more affiliate program, ultimately their box is going to generate them that money back. Okay, even in around a 4-month time period, as we've already seen. Okay, Bob, I think I've kind of shared some stuff. We're getting, 20 minutes left to come up to the hour. Let's just see if we have any questions. Maybe we've answered some, and maybe we've created some questions for people.
Okay, folks, before we jump into it, just a quick reminder. Take a breath. I know that when I do these presentations, Tony does presentations, everybody does presentations, oftentimes people get a little bit shy about wanting to raise their hand or say anything because they feel like it's a stupid question. There are no stupid questions, okay? And I want you to understand something as well. You're no different than me. I'm no different than you. I don't have a box yet. I'm waiting. I didn't order an antenna. I don't need it yet. So it's okay. It's okay to say I'm not ready yet, or I haven't got mine yet, I have questions yet. The only thing that I keep looking at is we're just a couple weeks away. We are getting dang close to be able to get our boxes here and start putting them to work and start making some money. And I'm really excited about that aspect of it. I'm very excited about that aspect of it. And so here's your opportunity. You've got Ron, you've got me, and I got to admit, Ron's more the master at this than I am. In case you haven't noticed, he's pretty dang smart. He's smarter than I am when it comes to this stuff. But taxes, that's my domain. Okay, so before we go on, please don't be afraid to ask any questions. We don't have a massively large group this evening, and I would love to hear some things from any of you if you've got any questions at all. And the crowd goes wild. Ah! Okay.
Well, they're thinking about it. I threw up another slide. I had this in that last week's presentation.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one, too.
Okay, and certainly it's something that, in that area, the training area, you see it multiple times. But I want to drive the point home that, again, think about this from the multi-level standpoint. What if you're contacting someone and saying, we need you to join my organization, but I don't want you to buy anything at all, okay? And I'm still, going to give you an opportunity to earn something from this People's Network. And that's effectively what happens. If you find that a good friend of yours somewhere is in a high-dense area and they just don't qualify to have iHub send a box to that location, that's not the end of the world. In fact, it shouldn't even be a bump in the road. Effectively, this whole revenue source is all about the boxes and the placement of the boxes, but we need, or iHub needs, and Helium needs, the full network needs coverage everywhere possible. And there's lots and lots of dead spaces right now, and if you can find someone that that controls a location and that can have internet to that box and power to that box, that's a candidate. And if you don't have that in someone, then we say, well, let's go find someone that that fits the measurement there. So basically, to fully participate in the reward system that we just talked about, enrollment in iHub Global Affiliates is free for everyone. You do not have to pay the $99. You do not have to even pay for the Upgrade Pro software that runs some of these analysis and so forth. Bob's offered to do a lot of those for us, and so if we just email in a location, he'll spit out the kind of rewards that could happen in that location and whether it qualifies. You don't, to sign up, your people aren't putting any kind of a payment method. It's not just a trial or anything. They would have that full back office. There's two, when you get one of these join buttons, there's two options for someone. They can just be a host or they can be an affiliate marketer. I recommend they just go straight to affiliate marketer, but you can convert to being host over to affiliate marketer at any point in time. There's no cost to that. But I've not seen it, but basically the view that you get if you're a host in terms of the software, it strips out all of the tools of marketing and that kind of stuff. So it's only optional to actually do a lease or a deposit and to get involved in the revenue that your own box would, the 25% of your own box. But you can still participate if you didn't do that by bringing other people that have maybe better locations and want to get involved. Maybe your location's not great, but you say, hey, listen, to a buddy of yours, I'll pay half of your $99 if we just come up with it and let's get it going. I mean, be creative, I guess. Decide how you want to do it. But yeah, it's free. It's free to watch this thing grow and be a part of it at any level that you feel like you can be or want to be, and just grow whatever income that's possible for you. That's just the point that I want to drive home. This is unique over any. You just can't even put it basically in the same category of a network marketed company with a product that they're trying to sell. There really isn't a product to sell here. There's a lease of a box that's going to earn you some money or some value.
All righty. Okay, guys, we got just a couple minutes left. Any other questions? Well,
is the antenna required?
It comes with a stock antenna. The antenna upgrade, which you'll end up paying some shipping costs. I will point out here, I did not order. When you go into the ordering screen, you can decide the length and the type of cable that you want to add to the order. I did not add any cable to mine, and that would increase the amount of dollars that you'd end up paying at the time. It's not required. It's going to come with an antenna, and you can run with the stock antenna at less earnings than if you were to go ahead and take their voucher and pay a little extra money shipping-wise and get an antenna. Now, the antennas that you're getting would be an outdoor installation type antenna versus the stock one that is sitting indoors. I suppose you could just kind of set this larger antenna somewhere near a window and still be indoors, but it's intended so that you could run it somewhere outside and just bringing the cable into the box that's indoors.
Yeah, my homeowners association would never allow an outdoor antenna.
Yeah, and you find that that's going to be the case. And so, again, everybody's situation is different. I say maybe run with just the antenna, stock antenna near a window for a while and say, you know what, maybe I'll go ahead and get the 5.8 and still keep it indoors near the window and just see if it boosts up enough extra.
Okay.
Yeah. So all of the above is the answer. It's whatever kind of works for you. Just know that if you can get the antenna high and where it doesn't have, it's got view from all, 360 view without some blockage is ideal.
Okay, thank you.
Good question, by the way, Christine. Thanks. Okay, anybody else?
One last thing I do want to hit up on real quickly, too. The other offer is for you to go ahead and get an account with CoinZoom, and you'll see that on your front page. They're promoting that. CoinZoom is a U.S.-based exchange. They're based in Salt Lake City, and they they're partnered with, so they're the preferred partner with iHub, and they do pay while your HNT is accumulating, you can stake it at 5% annual rate of return. So you can be staking while you're holding and building your portfolio of HNT. And of course, you can exchange it and spend it on a debit card that they have or a Visa card, or you can move it to a bank account, with their platform.
Okay.
And we are doing a $1,000, 5 people, $1,000 giveaway. I don't know when that drawing is going to be, but.
Yep. Okay, you might take just a moment, Ron. I'm just going to be off course for what we're presenting tonight, but why don't you take a second and define what staking is?
Okay, great. The best way to probably the best real world example is like a CD. There's various levels. You go to the bank and say, I want a 3-month CD or a 6-month CD or whatever. So essentially, you're locking up some money for a stated return of interest rate type return. And so what happens with staking? These exchanges need liquidity so that they can actually transact the people that are moving coins from one coin to the next inside their platform. And so how they provide liquidity and be able to perform that is that they will take, my coins that I'm staking, okay, they're going to give me back a return plus whatever the value of the coins are at the time that I decide to unstake them, okay. But while they're staked, they're going to use those coins to support the transactional movement of coins on their platform. Okay, so it provides the liquidity of coin movement back and forth on their platform. And that's called staking. But like I said, a great example is just locking up your money in a bank account like a CD.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, no, when you get out into the cryptocurrency world, there are different options to be able to invest and make money in this particular game. Staking is becoming quite popular. Okay, it's just a safe way to be able to do this. They don't necessarily pay as high as what you would make if you were, actually out in the investment arena and playing in that marketplace. But it's a great way to kind of diversify your investment options here, which is highly encourageable. You always want to diversify, and it's just a great idea. I know that as we expand, I keep looking at it as my way of being able to increase my standings, and I'm going to stake some into Helium simply because I think it's a good deal. I think it's
while your coins are dormant, meaning that if your concept is I'm going to mine and I'm going to be mining, and maybe 2 years down the road is when I'll be looking at deciding how to change it from HNT to whatever. If that's your more long-term mentality, is you might as well stake what you have while you're doing that, because then you've got whatever the value was going to be anyway, plus the 5%.
All righty. Okay, anybody else have any questions this evening? All right. Well, if not, I'll make one real quick announcement. I know that I previously did a presentation for the members, part 1 on the CRUT. I'll be doing the part 2 of that probably in about 2 weeks. You'll be receiving notice of it. If you have not watched that or you did not attend that particular presentation, it is available on the members' website. I highly encourage you to go look at that. That was some really great information to be able to move your world forward way beyond the little concepts that we have a tendency to create when we think, oh, I've got a windfall, I'm going to buy this, buy that, buy that. By the way, you don't want to be a rich Russian owning a yacht at the moment.
Yeah, definitely.
They're having a little bit of a difficulty with that one at the moment. Okay, but seriously, this is some great ideas in there, and I will be doing the second part probably within a week or two. Okay? On that note, guys, let's call it a night. Thank you very much for taking time to be here. Ron, as usual, what a great presentation, guy. And we will be talking to you guys next week.